I've spent some quality time with the OMW Lancer electric skateboard with the standard 105mm mad wheels, and I'm here to share my experience. This board has been generating a lot of hype as possibly the best electric longboard under $800, so I was eager to see if it lives up to those claims. Is the Lancer worth it, and who should buy it? Taking the Lancer out of the box, I was immediately impressed by its build. The deck is a 39.3-inch long, 10.2-inch wide carbon composite deck. And yes, it actually flexes. Unlike many stiff carbon boards I've tried, the Lancer's deck has a pleasant flex to it. OMW achieved this by using a mix of carbon fiber, fiberglass, and epoxy resin in the deck. The result is a deck that's thin but strong and slightly springy. In fact, OMW is confident enough to offer a lifetime warranty on the deck, which speaks to its durability. Visually, the Lancer stands out. Mine came in a bold, blood red color. You can choose red or black, and I love that OMW went for an eye-catching look instead of yet another plain black board. The deck shape features a concave with a subtle W shape in the middle and drop-down areas at both ends. When I step on it, my feet feel locked in place. That concave and drop-down give me a secure foothold, which is awesome for confident acceleration and braking. The grip tape on top is worth mentioning too. It's padded foam grip, about 3mm thick, which adds noticeable comfort by absorbing vibration. The Lancer rides on 9.25-inch forged TKP trucks with CNC machined base plates. TKP are known for quick turning and a surfy feel, yet they can be very stable when set up right. This design, combined with the wide deck, gives a very comfortable and stable ride. Little road bumps and cracks? The Lancer soaks them up like a champ, more on that in the ride section. The wheels on my unit are the standard 105mm mad wheels. The board rolls butter smooth over rough asphalt, pebbles, and small cracks without flinching. Honestly, these wheels are a sweet spot for urban riding. I felt like I didn't need full pneumatic wheels since the ride was already plush, and I didn't have to worry about every little crack in the pavement. The Lancer weighs in at about 26.5 pounds. That's definitely on the lighter side for an electric street longboard. In fact, I'd say it's about the lightest you can find a 2-in-1 board these days. Everything else is just bigger and heavier. Carrying it with one hand is manageable, but you'll feel the burn after a while. Thankfully, OMW includes a carrying handle that you can attach to the front truck area. With the handle, I can drag the board like a rolling suitcase or just get a better grip when lifting it, which is super handy. The Lancer uses a 14S 2P configuration with Samsung 50S cells. That's 10 amp hours and 504 watt hours. Higher voltage than typical boards, which helps with power delivery and a healthy capacity for long rides. The battery is one of the Lancer's crown jewels. It promises a lot of range, and in my testing it delivered plenty. OMW advertises 34 miles on a full charge, but that's likely under ideal conditions. In my real-world rides, I got around 18 miles before hitting low battery. If you cruise gently in slower modes, I can see it reaching close to that 28-mile claim. Either way, for a board under $800, this range is impressive. I didn't have range anxiety on my typical rides at all, and when you do need to recharge, the included 58.8 volts 4.2 amps fast charger juices it up in about 2.5 hours, which is pretty quick for a 500 watt hour pack. No overnight charging necessary here, a long lunch break, and you're almost full again. The Lancer uses dual Hobbywing 4235 belt drive motors, which OMW rates at 1,764 watts total continuous and up to 2,914 watts peak power combined. In plain English, these mid-size motors, around 52-55 in outrunner terms, give the board a lot of torque and acceleration, especially paired with that high voltage battery. The gearing is optimized for the wheel options. With the 105mm wheels, it uses a 40-tooth pulley, which results in a gear ratio of 2.9 to 1. The acceleration is smooth but strong for its price. From a standstill, the Lancer doesn't jerk. It's very controlled, but if you punch the throttle in highest mode, it'll really get going fast. OMW claims a top speed of about 31 miles per hour. I personally topped out around 29 miles per hour on flat ground. The board's high-speed performance felt stable and confident. More on stability later, but I had no scary wobbles even near 30 miles per hour, which speaks volumes about the setup.
1, go. That was not bad. That was super stable. The end of this road right here tilts upwards. There's a little bit of a slope incline. This is not a torque monster. This is meant to be a very stable, smooth cruiser. And it is doing that. It's doing that very well.
At the heart of the electronics is a Hobbywing 9028 ESC, which is a 14S capable speed controller with a phase current of 60 amps. Hobbywing is known for smooth control, and the Lancer's throttle and braking certainly live up to that reputation. The acceleration curve is very refined. I could tap the trigger for gentle starts or push harder for quick launches, and it always responded predictably without cogging or jitter. The brakes are adjustable and regenerative. The remote is a standard Hobbywing OLED remote with a clear little screen showing speed, battery, etc. Another neat feature, the ESC has a smart on-off, so the board powers itself on when you turn the remote on, no bending down to hit a power switch. Little conveniences like that add to the user-friendly feel. I live in an area with some decent hills, and the Lancer absolutely eats hills for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It specs to handle up to a 38% grade incline, which is way steeper than any road I'd normally encounter. In practice, I charged up a long steep neighborhood hill around 20% grade and maintained around 25 miles per hour without the motors struggling. If you're worried about hills, don't. This is where the Lancer truly shines in my opinion. The ride feel is buttery smooth and surprisingly surfy for a board of this size. The first thing I noticed was how stable it felt even at higher speeds. I attribute that to a few factors: the wide stance, the long wheelbase, and the tuned truck/bushing setup. The bushings are a mix of a barrel and cone setup and are very hard. About 98 A durometer up front and 55 D, which is over 100 A in the back. With the bushings loosened to a comfortable level, the Lancer's character opened up. It went from feeling like a train on rails to feeling more like a nimble longboard that I could actually carve and maneuver easily. The sweet spot I found was having it tight enough to remain rock solid at 20 miles per hour, but loose enough that I could lean in and get a nice carve at moderate speeds. In that configuration, the TKP trucks provide a lively rebound coming out of turns. Speaking of flex, the deck's flex adds to the ride comfort. It's not super flexy, but it has a noticeable give that helps absorb shocks. I'd call it a medium to high level of flex, depending on your weight. Interestingly, OMW designed the Lancer so you can adjust the deck's flex characteristics by moving the trucks to different mounting positions. There are 3 positions: a longer wheelbase option, making the deck effectively more flexible but turning slower; a shorter wheelbase, which feels stiffer but tighter turning; and the default middle option, which balances both. I haven't experimented with moving the trucks yet. Mine came in the middle, which felt great, but I love that the board has this modularity. It's like having 3 boards in one. You could set it up looser and flexier for cruising, or lock it in shorter if you plan to bomb hills and want extra precision. For me, the factory setting was a perfect zone. Enough flex to be comfy, but still stiff enough for pop and responsiveness when I carve hard. Now let's talk about road vibration and comfort. Thanks to those big, soft 105mm wheels and the foam grip on the deck, the Lancer delivers a very smooth ride even on imperfect roads. The board just plows over small obstacles that would stop a lesser skateboard. This not only boosts comfort but also confidence. I wasn't constantly worried about getting thrown by a random rock. It's not an all-terrain board, but for an urban street longboard, it comes pretty close in terms of not needing to constantly worry about what's coming up. The Lancer comes with a few quality of life features that I really appreciate. First off, it has a built-in LED tail light under the rear of the deck. This tail light is not just for show, it actually illuminates red when you brake, acting as a brake light, and it stays on as a running light at night. I do a lot of dusk rides, so having a stock tail light is awesome for safety. It saves me from strapping on a bike light or using a clip-on. The brightness is decent for visibility. In my testing, I do think it's not very bright during a sunny day. I would only trust it when the sun starts going down. OMW also offers optional front headlights and underglow RGB LEDs that can be added. The unit I received actually has these pre-installed because it's a review unit. But if you were to purchase one today, it comes separately and you have to install them yourself. The front headlights attach near the trucks and can be turned on via the remote, handy for nighttime rides if you need to see the road ahead. The underdeck RGB strip, once installed, gives you that cool underglow effect, and you can cycle colors or patterns by triple tapping the remote brake, because who doesn't want their board to look like a rolling Tron light cycle at night? I played around with the RGB lights a bit. It's a fun customization, though not something I'd use every ride. Still, for group rides or just showing off, having integrated underglow that's controllable from the remote is a neat touch. I can confidently say yes, the Lancer is absolutely worth it for riders who want a high-quality longboard experience without breaking the bank. At around $749 on sale, be sure to use my coupon code to shave a few more dollars off of your purchase. The OMW Lancer has really impressed me. I was a bit skeptical of the hype, but in use it genuinely feels like a next-generation electric longboard. It blends comfort and performance in a way that I haven't experienced in this price range before. Flying down the street at 30 miles per hour with confidence, carving up the bike path with ease, and not worrying about range or road vibrations. It's the kind of board that makes you want to take the long route home just to keep riding. OMW set out to redefine what an under $800 board can be, and I believe they succeeded. The Lancer is a fantastic choice for riders who want a premium ride without the premium price. In my opinion, it's not just worth it, it's a must-buy for 2025 if you're in the market for an electric longboard that's equal parts fun and value-packed.